It's all yours.
All right, so let's get started. If you could just introduce yourself, your first and last name, classification.
Um, my name is Osman Bangura. I'm a senior anticipated graduate and I'm in this May. My major is political science because I love politics, So I've been here for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you from as far as city, state, country, region, and etc.?
I'm from Sierra Leone. I'm in the west coastal part of Africa. Um, I was born in a district called Kono District, which is and still remains the diamond-rich district and most diverse because people come from all over the world to mine diamond over there. And I was born there, and I grew up in the capital, Freetown, went to school over there, and pretty much it's like a good place to be.
Okay. Describe your culture as far as some of the customs and characteristics.
Oh, the culture in Sierra Leone is very rich, it's very diverse, and it's very unique in the sense that you have an oasis of different personalities and different cultures from all over the world. Like, for example, when slavery was abolished back, in the 18th century, you have people taken from North Carolina, South Carolina, Jamaica, Nova Scotia, and brought them down to Freetown. That is why the capital of Sierra Leone is called Freetown. So you have that diversity right there. And you have the indigenous people living in there too. And you have people coming from Syria, they are Syrians, the Lebanese, and all these people make the culture diverse. But the central hub or the facet that controls all this culture is the local culture that is predominant because people assimilate. And that culture is called the society. But it's not a society like the literal sense, but it's a society which is sacred. So men get initiated to that, and women have their own, which women get initiated to. You see, but it is very hard to explain if you don't be part of it, but it's just a beautiful thing.
Okay. As far as ethnicities, how would you describe your ethnicity? Is there a specific tribe you're a part of or cultural group?
Yeah, I would say my ethnicity is the Timni. The Timni is like one of the predominant language spoken in Sierra Leone. You have almost 19 different languages in Sierra Leone, but the Timni and the Mende are the largest portion of that. So my father derived from the Timni language, and my mom, she's from Senegal. So she derived from the Fulani, which make up like 2% of the population in Sierra Leone. You see, but the Timni is really the predominant force.
What religions are?
I am from the Islamic religion because Sierra Leone, with a population of 5 to 6 million now, you have 70% of the population is Muslim. And then you have like maybe 29% is like Christians, and 1% is like just, animist, But I am from the Muslim religion. Yeah.
Okay. What type of foods and
The
cuisines
food.
do you eat?
The food is very nice, You got different combination of food, like cassava, like potato, like maize, like millet, but the staple food over there is rice. You see, I would say 100% of Sierra Leoneans use rice as a staple food,
Right.
And there's this little history in that because places like Malaysia and South Korea get their rice stock back in the early 70s from Sierra Leone. So it's really the staple food over there is rice, and I love it.
Okay. What type of environment do you come from? Were you raised in like the city, or were you raised on like a farm, or?
Well, the accident of the death of my dad reminds me much of that, because my dad was born in a village, in a little village made of heart, you know, and because he escaped from that village and went to the city and then moved to the Diamond Ridge area, you know, Connaught District. You know, I was born in there. And Connaught District is just like, if you were to try to create something, it's like America, okay? Everyone all over the world is trying to come to America to make life better. So Connaught District in Sierra Leone was like that. Everybody's coming from all over Sierra Leone, villages and towns and cities, just to go there because it's the Diamond District. And, excuse me, so they want to make money. So my father went in there, so I was born in Connaught District. It's
What?
like 212 miles from the city.
Okay. What was it like when you first came to the United States?
That's a beautiful question. I was surprised, and I was like, wow, because the experience is different. You know, when you're on the outside, like in Sierra Leone, looking on the inside, you always imagine America as like this great heaven. Then when you immigrate here, you're just going to be rich and your life is going to transform nice and beautiful. But it was different. When I came here, April 2nd, 2002, and we landed at JFK, and then we had a car waiting for us, drove all the way down to Columbus, Ohio, and I was there, and it was pretty cold. That was the first experience. It was extremely cold. And later I started walking at the gas station, and at the grocery store, tried to stock some food. And I started doing things here which I would never imagine me doing back home. You know, and the experience started evolving. That America is not, it seems, on the outside. It's completely different. You know, and things were difficult, hard, and I was crying, and I really want to go back. Like in 2005, I was crying. I just want to go back home because this situation was intolerable, you know, because my expectations is only building up to rising frustrations because of the system, the norm, the low-wage job, and the sarcasm that goes around, you know, are you from Africa? And so many questions about you chasing lions and elephants. And to me, just insult to my own dignity, you know.
Okay. So you just mentioned the chasing lions and stuff like that. What other prejudices do you think Americans have about your specific culture?
There's a two-part to that question. First, I mean, we had the African-American experience to the African culture. Well, like when I first came here, I see African Americans as my own. As far as I was concerned, that was my perspective, you know. But I was being treated like a complete stranger, like the outsider, you know. And one day, I mean, there was a lady told me that we sold them to slavery. And I was taken aback. So I have to revisit, you know, my inner thought. I said, wow. I said, do we actually do that? You know, so I mean, she held that belief, you know, that we, I mean, actively involved in selling our own to slavery. And I was taken aback by that, you know. And then plus white folks said to us, why, what are we doing here? You know, and I asked them about what you guys doing in Southern Africa? What you guys doing in Namibia, in Zimbabwe, you know, in the former Rhodesia? I said the same thing that you guys doing over there is what I'm doing here, you know.
Okay. Did you have any misconceptions about American culture?
Oh yeah, big time.
Describe some of the misconceptions you had about our culture.
I mean, I thought the culture was very hedonistic because the society was so affluent. You know, it's like people don't have that basic human value. Like where I came from, the actual saying that it takes a village to grow a child, you know, was lost here. You know, I think like that's my own biases at the time. So I think like America has a very degrading culture that doesn't have respect for fathers and mothers, doesn't even have respect for their own. So it's like I was like, this is something bad, you know. So that was my own biases. You see, but with time I came to understand that it's something deeper than that, you know.
Right. Have you adopted any American customs, or do you mostly stick to your traditional customs as far as, you know, holidays and stuff like that?
I have adopted the black experience, the black struggle, the black history month, of course. You know, the endowment movement in Mississippi, you know, and I've come to embrace everything that African Americans fight for, die for, and stood for. And I just see that as my own experience. So whatever the culture is, it's my culture, it's part of my culture. So everything that you see that African Americans do, from the music, from soul, jazz, funk, to hip hop, is part of my own culture. You see, and I love every single bit of it. You see.
Tupac. You love Tupac?
Oh, Tupac. Yeah, you love Tupac. Tupac to me is one of the most intelligent, forward-thinking, inspirational hip-hop rap star that ever walked the face of this planet. That's my view. Maybe, I mean, others might think it was like a Bible, you know what I mean? But I mean, Tupac was really good, I mean, because, I mean, it makes you think. He uses poetic language, you know, talks about so many stuff, even Swahili in his music, you know, and it makes you think. You know, it's just too sad that sometimes the good die young, you know, and we lost him so easily. But I mean, Tupac is like Nas, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, you know, all these people have been very inspirational, you know, and I love them.
Okay. Are you multilingual? Do you speak other languages? What languages do you speak?
Well, I speak Arabic, I speak my own dialect, I speak French, you know, and I speak so many other languages that it's very hard to express here because, you know, you can barely, you know, speak it at all because there's no one who speaks some of those languages, you know. If you speak French, I would love to speak it with you. If you speak Arabic, I would love to do it right now. You see?
Go ahead.
My smoker, that's Arabic. So I'm asking, what is your name? You see? So if I say my smoker, say it's me, Mahagami. Say it's like my name is Mahagami, you know what I mean? Or in French, you know what I mean? I'll say, je vous remercie. You know, say I thank you so much. Or to a gente. I mean, you are too gentle, you know, in your interview, you know. It's like, it's like because people say America is free, but Sierra Leone is the most freest country I've ever lived in my life. It was unfortunate because of lack of social justice. We fought 10 years brutal civil war. You know, the country just went insane. And horrible things were done that in my growing up, I would never imagine that to happen because there's a lovely people here. Sierra Leoneans, I mean, there's beautiful hearts. You know, they embrace everyone from every part of the world to go there and make life. And nobody gets jealous of what you achieve. So for us to go into a civil war and fight each other and kill neighbors and chopping hands, that was really a terrible experience. But the war has ended, and we have overcome that differences, and the country is moving forward. And in fact, the GDP grows, I think, 2.5% last quarter, and the economy is booming, and the country is coming back together, you know.
In a brief response, how would you describe yourself? What do you want the world to know about you in regards to your individuality and uniqueness?
I just want the world to know that I'm part of this human race. And I'm here. And I'm doing my part. Because if we live in a globalized society, we want the fundamental principles that undergird life for everybody, which is freedom, justice, equality, and truth. And so we are connected. The world is becoming more interconnected. And we should fight to change the world as it should be, rather than the way it is. See, I want the world to know that it's not racism to love your own kind, to love black people, because we have been drowning through the wine press for so long, and we need to love each other, you know. So my own struggle, my own fight is just to make that unity and love between black folks. So if we can love ourselves, you know, we can do something progressive. In fact, that was one of the reasons behind me coming to Norfolk State, because it's a predominantly black college, and a historical one at that. So I love that interaction, you know, to see Tupac says, learn to see me as a brother instead of a too distant stranger. And that is real. You know, if we black people all over the world, in Brazil, in Guatemala, in Europe, in Australia, in Africa, and most certainly in America, because black folks in America has the power to change the world, because you are so important to the struggle of people all over the world. You see, so if black America just learn to know and love the culture of Africa and understand the perspective of Africa, we talk to rather than pass each other, and all those little differences, vision, I mean,